So everyone's seen infomercials and commercials about today's diets and the fad diets that go on today, whether that be Nutrisystem or Weight Watchers or anything like that. We see celebrities endorse those diets, and come to find out years later, most of the celebrities, if not all of them, have gained that weight back, if not more. So basically, I've become really interested in diets versus a lifestyle change and how that affects someone's health and the way they look, the amount of weight they lose, whether that be short-term or long-term benefits for them. So for y'all, I just kind of want to give y'all my opinion of why I don't think diets work. Basically, I don't think diets work because of the diet themselves, not because of the user. I think you're setting yourself up for failure when you start that diet, and it's not your fault that it doesn't work. Diets are for short-term purposes, and in the end, you're probably going to gain the weight back, like I said. So, to lay it kind of out there, I'm going to talk about my main points. First, I'm going to talk about how diets are designed with only one aspect in mind. That aspect is food itself. The second point is diets don't get to the main source of your problem. They don't cure any emotional state that you're in, or any negative emotional state. Thirdly, lifestyle change is going to be successful, not the diet itself. So, to talk about my first point, diets are designed with only one aspect in mind, like I said, that being food. In reference to one of the diets that I've kind of looked at and known people that have done, it's the Atkins diet, and in that diet they take out all carbohydrates. They take out bread, they take out chips, and that's something that I personally couldn't do because I would just eat all the chips or all the bread at a particular restaurant. And I don't think I'm the only one who really likes that stuff, and so when you eliminate it, you become eventually really, really obsessed with it. And I found a study in the Huffington Post that kind of said the same thing. There's a professor by the name of Joseph Prieto. He's a professor at the University of Melbourne, and there were 50 men and 50 women in this study. They were obese, and he told them that he restricted them to a diet of 550 calories a day for a period of 8 weeks. And after that period, he gave them, or provided them with counseling and ways to maintain their healthy lifestyle. Well, come to find out, after the study was over, all those, not all of them, but a few of them had gained all the weight back, and a lot had gained substantially more back. And so some of the people in that study actually said I was more obsessed with food by the end of the study than when I started with it. Because they restricted their calories to only 550 a day, they were so hungry, and when they did finally give in and have that one thing, they just were so obsessed and had more and more of it, I think. So that kind of touches on my point number one. So now that we've talked about how diets only take into account for the food that you eat, and they really only restrict that area, we're going to talk about point number two, and that is diets don't get to the main source of the problem. Diets aren't going to cure your emotional state. People sometimes say that food is used out of comfort. Say you're sad or lonely, some people go to food for that. And I personally don't think that diets are going to help that. You may go on a diet and look better and feel healthier for a little bit, but eventually when you gain that weight back, you're going to go back to that negative emotional state, and then further go back to binge eating and eating more and more food like you did previously. So I really don't think the diet sets you up well in terms of that emotional state that you're in. So I found an article on CNN.com by Alice Oglethorpe and Noel Howie that kind of talks about the problem of emotional eating. It basically said that a main problem is people hit the refrigerator instead of confronting their problems. And when that happens, that is a problem. And like I said, a diet's not going to fix that. People are still going to go back to the refrigerator once they gain that weight back. So that is point number two. And so now that I've talked about diets not causing or not helping your negative emotional state that you had, we're going to talk about number 3, and that is lifestyle change and how that is going to contribute to the success that you have and how you're going to be more healthy because of the lifestyle change and not a diet, because the diet is going to lead to failure. You're going to gain the weight back eventually. So lifestyle change, I'm going to use a few examples. My brother kind of wanted to lose weight for basketball purposes, and so instead of just deciding to go to food and restrict the food that he ate, he decided he was going to work out too along with that, and it became a healthy lifestyle, not just for him but for my family in general. He ate gluten-free, he eliminated all dairy, and basically he's lost the weight and kept it off. And I think that's because he didn't just diet. It wasn't just about food, it was about a healthy lifestyle that included exercising a lot, whether that be cardio or strength training or basketball drills or something like that. But it included that and certain aspects in regard to food. And I've also witnessed with other members of my family, those that have gone on diets, it hasn't worked. They've gained the weight back. And I don't attribute that to them at all. I think it's mainly because of the diet itself. It sets them up for failure because they're eliminating that one food. But if they do change their lifestyle, if they do work out multiple times a week, and if they eat right, I think they have a more healthy life overall in their emotional state, their stress level, their health altogether. And so, in conclusion, I really just want to summarize what I've been talking about and why diets are the problem and not the person themselves. So I say diets are designed with only one aspect in mind, that being food. They don't get to the main source of the problem, and the real thing is a lifestyle change. That's the key to success, not the diet, because the diet's going to lead to failure. And I just wanted to mention one support for why a lifestyle change is important. Dr. Snellgrove, in an interview with Fox 10, said that the changes are better and are focused on the long term, that being the lifestyle change. So I just kind of want to leave you with that thought that long-term lifestyle change is really important, but short-term diets are going to work, but diets are truly unsuccessful and it's not the user's fault.